Good evening, folks. We're going to be starting in about 2-3 minutes. So please, in the chat, type in where you are from and your name and where you're from. Love to see where you're from. There's Kevin from Ontario, Nancy from Texas, Sylvia, Brad, and just to let our guests know, Max and Larry, I see you. Carol, I see you. We'll be bringing Carol on at 7:10, Max and Larry at 7:30. Enjoy the show. But we'll be back in a couple minutes. Oscar and Megan are finishing the Chinese food in the other room. So we'll be back in a second, and we're going to get started in less than 2 minutes. Hey, welcome everyone to the call. We are getting started in less than a minute. So if you haven't already, please tell us who you are in the chat and where you are from. Florida, Texas. Kevin, we are not dry. We've had 5 inches of rain yesterday and almost 5 inches today. It's a big storm going through. It happens every November or October, and we're getting it this week. So it's pretty wet here. Oh, hello from Scotland. Thank you for joining us at this midnight or 1 a.m. hour. And Barry Gessel says hi to Larry and Max. You must know them. Okay, we're going to get started in 30 seconds. I'll give you a little introduction. No, I'm assuming they're hearing the music. Some of the videos do that.
Curious, but almost.
Yeah.
It says assault.
So, maybe it's not look similar.
Did you say there were 5 inches of rain in downtown today?
Yes, we just said 5 inches. Mm-hmm. Okay, we are back. Are we missing anybody? No, we're not.
Hi,
oh, wait,
everyone.
We are. There's someone else coming. Oscar and Peg sent entrance. As
Hi, everybody.
usual.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Good evening. I see
woohoo.
some beautiful, friendly faces joining us tonight.
Yeah. You don't just have to see us and listen to us tonight. We've got some awesome expats coming on to share their experience in Panama.
All righty. So we are going to start first. It's a very simple procedure. We are going to introduce ourselves. Some of you, I see new names on here. We got people from Scotland on too. It's
Scotland.
1 o'clock in the morning in Scotland.
Nice.
Welcome. We've had guests from England before.
Yes.
We haven't done Scotland yet. But we're going to introduce ourselves so those people know. And then we're going to be interviewing 2 expats, a wonderful single lady, great friend of ours in Boquete, and long-term good friends of ours, Larry and Max from Panama City. So as the person is speaking, feel free to ask them questions about that specific topic, and they can even help us answer them. And then at the end, if you have general questions like what visa should I get, save those until the end of the Q&A, please. We'll have another 10, 15 minutes left over then. So, and people are placing the orders like crazy on our website today. That's what that noise is. So I'm going to share the screen and you guys start already who we are.
Sure.
Ladies
Me?
first.
So it's me. I'm Megan. I am originally from Pennsylvania. Your dog thinks our sneakers are toys.
Yes, they are. Just give her one.
Yeah, so I originally came to Panama in 2018 with the Peace Corps. Lived in a lot of different rural communities around Panama. And now work with Retire in Panama, of course, since late 2019, I guess. And did tours for a while with Oscar, which was really fun. And now handle a lot of the operations and logistics for the company and get to meet all of our tour guests when they're here in Boquete. And yeah, our whole team lives here in Boquete, and we love it here. Oscar and I are raising a family here. We have the boys with us tonight. Our babysitter canceled last minute, so I might be in and out.
All right. I am Oscar, originally from Cali, Colombia. Being here, I got here to Panama in August 12, 2009. The whole time been in Boquete, but I've been with work, traveling, driving all over many areas in Panama. Love this country, the people, and Panama and Colombia, we share history, and we're quite similar in the culture, which allows me to live very happily here. And also, I'm the tour leader guide on our excursion, a week tour, and also the 3-day Chiriquí Highland tour. Basically, I'm the one. Sometimes I got the master's degrees on how to deal with the red tape. So facilitation is my middle name, and make sure everybody is having a great time. They're safe and having realistic information about Panama, the culture. So I like to think about myself like the bridge between North American and Latin American culture. Yeah, I'm very happy always to do my work. I'm very blessed to have my family as co-workers. Yeah.
It's my turn.
No.
I'm sorry, Oscar took all the time, so we're going to move on. No, my name is Rod Larrabee from Vancouver, Canada. I have moved here 13 years ago, as of a couple weeks ago, and I was one of those ones. I can tell you why I'm here. I was one of those ones that did it wrong. I knew nobody here. I got some information online, even though back then there wasn't much, and I got in trouble. I made mistakes, and they were costly ones. And within 3 months of me being here, I met this guy. And he was my lifesaver. He had already been here 2 years. So if anyone ever tells you our company doesn't have the experience helping expats move here, Oscar's been doing it longer than anyone in the industry today. And he helped me get all my problems settled, which was great. And within the next year, him and I were working together on an exchange basis. He helped me get stuff done. I helped market his services, but we owned a business within a year together. And we started doing local tours and helping and private tours and helping expats move here. We started this company we currently have together in concept 2017. We were moving ahead with paperwork, and 2018 we launched in the fall and had our first tours in 2019.
Yeah.
And we started with 7-day, and we focused on one thing. And I remember when Oscar and I were beating and fighting back and forth and coming up with how this business is going to work, it's got to be a small group, Rod. I've done the international living bus things. I don't want to do that. At the end of the tour, he wants, actually on the second day of the tour, he wants to know all your names. And he wants to know and by the end of the tour, we know everyone's story because we have all sat down with them. We have met them. And so we do small 8 to 14 type group tours, 15 sometimes. And we do it in smaller vehicles that get to more remote areas. Yes, we do drive our van up on the beach. Okay. So He does.
Out of the beach, small
And we do
towns,
drive
small
up in the
neighborhoods,
mountains. Well, maybe not this next tour next week. We have a lot of rainy season happening here.
And this is the driver.
Yeah, this is our driver. Yeah, he's very qualified here in Panama. Okay, so that is who we are, and you can check us out at retireinpanamatours.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. Those of you probably know it, but some of you don't because some of you just saved the bookmark from online advertising, and it doesn't even have our site on it. So that is it. What we got coming up here, guys. This week has been very, very busy for us, and tours are booking up like crazy. I can't even honestly say if our site's fully updated. Yeah, April's last. So if you want to come with us on one of our tours, we have 2 spots. Like that's a couple, basically, like a couple or a single left for March. And April, we have 4, like 2 couples or
4
3
singles.
singles. Yeah. So we are virtually sold out on our Cherokee Highlands tour, which has become immensely popular. We could make an announcement in the next few days about putting another one on. Please, if you're interested, let us know because we have basically sold that thing out and until the end of April. And that tour is 3 days long. But if you look at why we did this tour, it's amazing. The price is cheaper. Like you won't find anything comparable in a 3-day Panama tour. And it's all inclusive, includes your most of your food and your airport pickups,
lodging,
and of course,
most important,
4 nights of hotels.
Yeah, and most important, all the same follow up and support from our team.
Yeah. So definitely the April one is going to sell out very shortly. So look at that one. But yeah, when you come on our tours, you not only get to see the place, our after tour support is unparalleled in this business. You have our cell phone numbers, you have our personal emails as opposed to the company email, and we will set up private Zooms, just not 100 and some people plus us. It'll be you and us making a checklist to make your move. You have unlimited access to us. And so our goal has always been to save our clients money. So whether that be in a rental, whether that be in your phone service, and some people laugh, my phone service. Yeah, we've taken people from $150 a month to $0. Think of that saving, what you could do with that extra $14,000 every $1,400 every year that you don't need your US cell phone number.
Yeah.
But it's just that we work with you to get you here. And I'm going to stop promoting us. How's that, Oscar? Yeah. We're going to move on with the wonderful guest that we have. We are starting with Carol. Carol is coming up on the page. Hey, Carol, how are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hey, we are
Very
wonderful.
Good.
We are wonderful.
Good
Carol was
you.
on our tour when, Carol? I can't remember.
Last December.
It was only December.
Yeah.
She originally, she knew. She took the 7-day tour and she knew Boquete is where I'm going to be. And she basically, when did you come back? Tell us your story then. Like, what was that procedure from when you went home after the tour to when you first got back here?
Well, when I was on the tour, when we got to Boquete, and it was in that season where there's the mist and the rainbows, and I just got out of the hotel and looked up at the mountains and looked up at the rainbow, and I said, I live here. So I went home and I started planning what I was going to do. I found a couple of apartments. Rod had suggested I look at Facebook Marketplace. And actually, the first one I looked at, I wasn't sure about. And one of the things I wasn't sure about, it was on a hill that I wasn't sure how steep it was. I talked to Rod. He went and he drove that hill with his phone so I could see what it was like. But he told me it's in a good neighborhood, but it's $400 a month too much. So basically, right then and there, he saved me, twice what I paid for the tour. And then I found another place that I liked, and it so happened Rod knew it very well. So it was up in April, which was sooner than I wanted to move. I planned to move in July or August. But based on Rod's recommendation, everything about it seemed right. I went and I leased that apartment. I came down in April, met the landlord. It's a furnished place, but I came down a couple of times in the spring with a measuring tape and figured out what I wanted to bring of mine, what I wanted to just use the furnishings that were available, what I needed, what would fit, so that when I moved in August, I was pretty much prepared. And I moved with 2 cats. That was the only thing that was stressful. It wasn't stressful for the cats, it was stressful for me.
You know, that's the funny thing. I always tell my pet relocation clients, this is not going to be hard on your animal. It's going to be hard on you. So, because, yeah, we always make it through. It wasn't that bad, like the pet relocation thing.
I was surprised at how, you think you coddle your pets and you think that they just aren't flexible and resilient, but they really have been.
For sure.
It's in every way been a good move.
So you live right downtown Boquete, like
Right
Boquete.
downtown.
We're gonna
You
show you
didn't
some
get any
pictures.
more central unless you were in
Yeah,
the church, right?
You could not, yeah.
Main Street and Center Street, basically.
You don't ever need a car. And if you want to go to David, you can hire a driver, or you can. So you have no car expense. Huh?
No car expense. I've taken the bus too, which is actually kind of fun to go to David. But yeah, no, I can walk to 4 supermarkets. I can walk to department stores that have surprisingly good stuff. And so I'm out almost every day doing that. And I've met a lot of friends and really kind of a social whirlwind. Like I could be busy every day, so it's been good. And beginning to do some volunteer activities. So happy
Awesome.
about that. Joining the Rotary Club,
That's great.
Yeah.
Rotary. Go ahead.
Huh? What?
I said, go ahead. Ask her. What questions do you guys have for Carol?
I'm sorry, I was with the kids, so
Oh.
I wasn't. I don't know
So
what was
we just
already
talked about her original move here.
Yeah.
Most important is how you felt, like we always like to talk about what we offer after the tour. So, I mean, I know we have paid you to say this. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
seriously, like what
not
was your
much.
experience to share about the after follow-up? And
Very excellent, because you guys have helped me with finding my shipping company to get things moved here. Rod is helping me right now get rid of my Verizon Wireless, which I'll soon
We're
say.
going to finish that up. Hey, we should set up a time. Well, maybe not with all these
We
people.
set up a time afterwards because that will be a fun
Saturday
farewell.
morning and then lunch at Maye. No, we
There
can
you
do
go.
something.
Yeah, something like that'll work. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, the most striking thing to me was when, Rod, when you went and drove that hill on that other house I was looking at, with your phone. And I was like, what do I owe you? And you said, buy me a cup of coffee next time you're in town. So we did that.
I really want to talk about that because whether it's me or Oscar or Megan now, like Oscar has been here longer. He probably knows the house too. But it just happened that you got a hold of me. Maybe Oscar was on tour. I know the house. I know what it rented for last year and what they were asking this year because they painted it. I knew it was overpriced, and based on it's not like Carol. I think there was 12 people on your tour. You and I sat.
There were fewer. Yeah, it was really a nice, intimate tour.
We sat and we met you. I knew what your needs were. I knew you were never going to, like, you don't really want a car. You want to be right downtown. You weren't that noise objectionable, like just not late night stuff.
I mean, there's only been one night early on that it thought it was noisy. It really, the noise hasn't, and you had mentioned, because this unit, you said if I shut the slider to the balcony, I would be fine. And absolutely right. But the other thing about the place I got, which the reason I pounced on it so fast with your recommendation was that when I showed pictures of it from Facebook to my friends back in the US, they were like, it looks like you decorated. And I said, I know. So it was such a seamless, smooth move in. And when I show people get onto a video call with people. They're like, "Oh, is that your lamp that you brought?" And I'm like, "No, that was here already." It's like, "Well, it's like something you own." It's like, "Yeah, I know this place is like me." So I was very, very lucky. Oh yeah, and so there's one of the cats. That's Bridget.
Yeah, I
And
figured this was just a Bridget shot.
well, the amazing thing is the whole place is like a catio to her because those open steps they just love. And there's a catio that another thing that Rod helped me with, he introduced me to a handyman who's just wonderful. And he does metal work. And I showed him a catio that I liked on on Amazon. And he went and he built me basically a metal version of it. We worked together on it, and it's in the front of the balcony, but it's on wheels, so I can move it. I can have it in the house or outside, anywhere on the balcony. It has doors. It's really a great thing, and Bridget uses it a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, so this, folks, is her outdoor balcony. It's a beautiful building. It's right on Main Street, but her unit, which I've been in several times with other people renting it, I don't think there's a building that you and I haven't been in at least once in Boquete, like apartment building. We've all known people, so
Yeah.
we know it, and it's on the side street, so I knew the noise would be lower. So it's. And this is like, from the kitchen. It's a full open suite with an upstairs loft bedroom bathroom style.
It's not large, but it feels huge because it's got the high ceilings. Everything is built on a large scale. It's really, whoever designed the interior was a genius.
Now,
And
we're
there
not
it
going
is.
to tell you because it's kind of personal information, but we're going to give you a range here. This is the unit right here.
Yeah, it's the one
yeah,
in the
right.
center, towards the right of the screen.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
And this is right downtown on Main Street, and her rent includes all utilities and internet and gas and water, of course, and electricity and everything for I'm going to say between 750 and 900. See, I'm not telling
Yes.
you what.
Yeah.
So between 750, like
Yep.
well under $1,000. So
Yep.
you can get that in Boquete, guys, and never have the need for a car. Mhm.
And
Cool.
you save a lot of time to watch any parades like the
Yeah, I can actually see the parades from my dining room.
Yeah.
I can look out the window and see the parades. Yeah,
Well, unfortunately, the parades this weekend got canceled.
that
so
was
you never
sad.
got those.
Yeah.
But they were canceled. We had our major weather week just started on Saturday.
yeah.
So, question: single gal living in Boquete without a car. Anyone got any questions? I
There's
got
a few
someone.
coming in.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I did see a couple coming
Yeah.
in for her.
Mhm. There we go. Hi,
I'm
Carol. Where did you move from?
from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Yeah,
Perfect.
just in the process of selling my home there. Just accepted an offer on it.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Questions?
There we go. Carol, did you rent
Yes.
without seeing it in
I
person?
did rent without seeing it in person. There were a great many representative photos on the Facebook Marketplace listing. And because Rod knew the building and the unit and told me it was a good deal, he told me a lot about it. That in other words, he explained to me the noise level and shutting the slider if I needed to. And so I just took it and came down. I sent the money and got down on the 2nd of April. The lease started the 1st of April. And each time I came down, I stayed about 10 days, got to know the area a little, just begin the kind of a long process of learning how to live in a different place because I had lived where I had been for 25 years. So, you learn a different way of living. I hadn't rented in ages, decades. So just learning how to live your life in a new place, where you like to shop, what you think you need. I do a lot of cooking, so I wanted more and more specific than the cooking gear that came with the place. But the decor, this place was in pretty move-in shape. It was in move-in shape.
Perfect.
And the other thing, speaking as a single woman, I don't think I have ever lived anywhere where I felt safer than in this building. The way this particular building is set up, you feel very private. You can spend days without seeing or hearing anyone in any of the other units, and it's buzz in. So it's like those old apartments from the 1960s where you have to buzz downstairs and there's a little phone, you can talk to the people and then buzz them in. So it's like it was good for me when I was traveling back and forth still, because it really is a lock and leave kind of a place.
Mhm. Well, that kind of fits in with our next question. How is the crime rate? I know you've only been, you started that lease in April. How do you feel here as a single lady? If it was 6, 7 p.m., would you walk home from a restaurant? Things like that.
Yeah, I would walk home from a restaurant, on the main streets. There's one area I went that's a little bit out further where I think at night I wouldn't,
Yeah.
do that, but sure, downtown. But the other thing is you can get a cab. When my daughter came out to visit me, because this is a 1-bedroom unit, she stayed at an apart hotel near here and took cabs everywhere for a couple of bucks here and there. And I got to know her cab drivers. So we went out up in Restaurant Row, and it was getting late, and he just dropped me off home. But so it's very easy to get a cab here. People I know, some of my friends have their sort of regular cab drivers that they know to call. So you sort of got speed dial for your guys if you need it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you speak Spanish?
Well, I can get by for shopping and for traveling.
He's
And
pretty good, guys, like she honestly is.
huh?
You are pretty good for an expat.
I have a good accent, which encourages people to speak faster than I can understand, because I've been watching telenovelas for 30 years. But I found in conversation, I need help, and I'm going to get my cable set for Spanish language stations so I can hear it more. But I'm still in the process of just getting everything together. I had a lot of stuff to do with getting my house ready to sell, having an estate sale. A lot of stuff I handled remotely. So when I get down to that, I am going to learn more, because I think it's helpful. You can certainly get by without Spanish here. But, my goal is not, what I say is, if I wanted to sit around with a bunch of green gut ladies and drink white wine, I wouldn't have had to leave Rhode Island. So I wanted to know the culture and the people. And I think it's just easier. And I'm a guest in another country, so I want to be respectful of it, and I want to learn the language.
Perfect. So the question is, Carol, had you considered any other countries before you moved here?
Yes, I mean, and a great many of them very superficially. I decided over 20 years ago that I wanted to have a Latin American, maybe South or Central American retirement. And so I started subscribing to International Living, and I looked very casually and just sort of got familiar with what the options were and what the issues were. And then about 3 years ago, I went to Ecuador, and I loved the country. I loved my tour. I wasn't so sure about the altitude in the places I was interested in. I thought it might have been a bit much for me. And then a little time passed, and the crime rate got to be such that I just decided it was out of the question. So that was when I decided my next tour was going to be of Panama, which was one of the other countries I was considering.
Perfect.
What is the next question? Do we have more questions?
Yeah, a couple more. Well, not correctly. Someone asked, normal rental contracts are either 1 year or 6 months. Oh, Trish Hine. I don't know if you met Trish yet. She's been here for about a week. She was on our last tour.
Yeah, you met
We
her.
met.
She was,
We met at Wednesday at the dinner at
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course you did. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in an Airbnb until the beginning of December. So
Yeah,
she's looking for a rental after
Yeah, we're
that.
looking for a place for her too. So
Yeah. We're going to get together for coffee. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I think how much money
There may be a unit available, Trish. I don't know.
Okay.
I can ask
There we
around. You know, there are different owners.
Yeah.
We can talk. Uh, um, I have my temporary visa, and I'm due on March 1 to get my permanent resident visa. I have my driver's
Woohoo.
license, even though I don't have a
Nice.
car.
There we are. Driver's license. If
Yeah.
you don't have a car, but you
Feels
can
good
always
to get
rent one a
official.
few days a month.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean, I'm
right.
right across from Value Motors, right? I could walk across the street and rent one.
Yeah, exactly.
And even though if you want to just buy something very affordable to drive around, maybe once in a while go to the VA some shopping.
Yeah,
There's some
I've thought about
options
that.
very
I've
affordable.
thought about
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy driving, so I've thought about it, but my goal is not to until sometime next year. You know, I
Yeah.
like the experience, and it's healthful
Yeah.
to walk everywhere. I just remembered when I got my first car in my early 20s, how much weight I gained, you know, from not walking everywhere.
Okay, we're going to take the last question for Carol. Do you walk around at night or go out? I don't think.
Well, you know, I'm elderly to the point that I don't go out that much at night
Yeah.
without
These
taking a
guys today,
cab.
but he still goes out.
Um,
I don't go out at night anymore.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I would probably take a cab unless it was fairly close. But I don't have a fear factor with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we want to thank you so much for joining
Thank you,
us
Carol.
and sharing Carol. We put Carol's number. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can phone her 24/7.
Right.
Kidding. You know.
Right.
I will contact you tomorrow so we can finish it off. What we're doing with Carol is usually we do this before we help people move here. I can't tell you how many North Americans come here and have lived here for years and are still using their AT&T or Verizon, paying $60, $70 a month for it.
More
There's
than that.
no need for it. Even yours more than that. We are getting her same number she had before, canceling her Verizon, and it's going to cost her $0 for her phone for the rest of her life. Now, how are we going to do that? We're not telling you on this call. But
For her
that's,
U.S. line.
Yeah,
She'll
yeah,
still
for
have
her
to pay a
U.S.
Panama
line.
plan.
Yeah, she's going to have to pay. Like, what do you pay in Panama? 20? Are you on the 21 or the $27?
I don't have it yet. I'm going to get the 27 because
Yeah, the
that
$27 a month.
free
for
roaming in
unlimited
the Americas. How can I beat that?
free
Right.
roaming anywhere in all of the Americas, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I just went in my plan. I go to Colombia and I don't have to do anything.
There we
Yeah.
go. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Carol, and we will
Thank you,
all
Carol.
talk to you
Happy
soon.
to do it. Good
Thanks,
to see you
Carol.
guys.
And
See you around.
we're taking
We'll see
you
you
off the
soon.
screen, so you don't have to worry about
Okay.
hiding. No one will be able to see you anymore or hear you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay, now, very good friends of ours that Oscar's going to interview is Max and Larry about their tour and where they have an interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our very good friends,
Max and Larry.
Max and Larry
Hey,
from
fantastic.
Panama
Welcome.
City.
guys.
Hey,
With a little different background these days.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I haven't
yeah,
forgotten
very
that.
different.
Very different.
Very
Yes.
different.
By the way, looking great, huh? Looking forward to see you guys soon. On Tuesday, hopefully.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Just let us know when you're here.
Yeah, so Max and Larry have lived in a lot of different areas of the U.S., but originally came on tour with us and then moved to Boquete for a few years. We got to have them as neighbors, and now they're living in Panama City.
Yeah. How you guys like the city so far? And how has been
Love
that
it.
change between Boquete and Panama City?
We love it. Love it,
Awesome.
love it. But we're city people. In honesty, we love Boquete as well. It was wonderful. But we just got to the point where we didn't want to carry a house anymore. So now that we had the Panama thing down and all the rough spots went away, we decided it was probably time to move into an apartment just to make life easier for us.
Yeah.
So, but we love Panama. We will never leave Panama. So that was, I guess, the compromise for the two of us, because
Yeah.
I could have stayed in Boquete forever, but he missed the city. And it turned out to be a really good move for us.
Yeah.
But Boquete is such a magical place, and we had so many friends. So, but what we have found is that being in the city, people are always coming through now. So every couple of weeks, we get to see friends that we don't see on a daily basis anymore.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I mean, you guys have quiet of the place and quiet of the view from city and the ocean.
Yeah, we have extraordinary views. That's the view from uh, the center of the city, and it's going out to Costa del Este.
That's the corner of your balcony?
Yes.
Yes,
Come on, Larry. Tell me the truth. Do you stand on the edge of that? Because I wouldn't. Like you can barely see the glass.
it's funny you should ask.
I know he
I'm not
doesn't
a
like
big-
heights.
I'm not a big fan of height.
And what floor are you on?
37th. So it's
37th?
Yeah, that's
and-
a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I remember 37. Yes, a little, a
and
little.
they're high ceilings, so we're about 400 feet up.
Yeah.
That's
So
actually
no,
good.
we don't go out to the balcony too often. We go out there to take pictures, and then we come back in.
Yeah. Now this area is Oscar. It's Pattaya?
Punta
Punta
Pacific.
Pacifica.
Punta Pacifica. My mistake.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's actually they live very close, and the
I
same-
haven't seen. I feel like I haven't seen the apartment yet.
Yeah,
So
the area where they live right now is in the same area where is the JW Marriott and many other
Yeah.
great buildings.
That was
including,
before
a lot of
furniture.
facilities, hospitals, and you guys also have a beautiful large kosher store.
yes.
We are a few blocks from everything.
Yeah,
There's it's a supermarket. It's a very large supermarket, even by American standards, called Super Kosher.
yeah,
And then
Super 99.
we have Super 99. That's a block closer than that. We have Foodie, which is a small market chain, 1 block from us. We can walk to the hospital. We can walk to the clinic. We can walk to 7 or 8 very good restaurants. And from where we are, we can take an Uber. I think the most expensive trip, not counting the airport, is Costa del Este. That costs us about $6 to get there.
Yeah.
yeah.
The other
Cool.
thing is, recently, we just decided to leave the city for a while. So we went over to the beach at Playa Bonita. And that was a 20-minute Uber ride. And we were at the beach. And we stayed there for a few days. So it's like a vacation within a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
living
Playa
there.
Bonita is the one by Veracruz, right? Is it right?
Yeah, Panama Pacifico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful location.
Yeah, nice beach, 20 minutes from Panama City.
Mhm.
Yeah, no plane, no airport. It was fabulous.
Mhm.
You know, it was a big resort. It was just a lovely vacation.
We had to recover from the rigors of retirement.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So, you guys are young expats, and like I know Max, you're in your 50s. Larry, you're a bit older, but
Yeah.
how have you? I want to get right into, like, we know you as friends, you know
Right.
that, and you've had some health issues, and what can you say about the care here and the cost? I know you have insurance,
We do.
stuff like that, but how is the care, and what is what is that like compared to what you used to back in the States?
Well, I could tell you that just a few months ago, I spent 10 days in ICU at Hospital Cherokee over in David, and I can't imagine getting better care. Absolutely extraordinary. The doctor was amazing. The nursing care was off the charts. And I speak very little Spanish, and yet everybody understood everything. And the nurses really didn't speak English. They were kind of learning, and we were kind of communicating with sign language and things. But I can't say enough about it. It was, I can't imagine at this point going back to the US for medical care.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine what condition I would have to be in that would send me back, having the experience that I had with being in the hospital for that
Yeah.
length of time. Yeah, and I also had cataract surgery a year ago here.
Mhm.
And again, it was just an amazing experience. The doctors here are just so superior at connecting with patients, and I've heard that from other people. So that's been my experience, and I can't say enough good things about the medical care I received
Yeah.
here.
So you
And
guys
the pri-
now, sorry,
Mhm.
I'll let you finish. Sorry.
Oh, the prices
Uh-huh.
are, you can't even, now we happen to have insurance, so for the hospital stay, it was a lifesaver. On a day-to-day basis, just seeing a GP or an internist, or even a specialist in the city and having some tests run is a fraction. And we don't use our insurance for everything.
Mhm.
Just paying out of pocket is just so much less money than it is in the States. It was a big eye opener.
Yeah.
You know.
But now, as you know, we had talked in the past, and one of the reasons was the city and where you picked is you are now within walking distance, literally,
We did.
to one of the number one hospitals in Latin America, Punta Pacifica, a John Hopkins affiliated hospital. And sometimes, I know you guys are too young, you don't have to worry about this yet, but 20, 30 years from now, you might want to be close to a hospital. So it's great.
Yeah, it was a consideration when we were choosing our spot. We could have gone anywhere in the city. It was
So
just a neighborhood.
start queuing up your questions for retired expats living in Panama City, folks, as we continue to talk to Max and Larry.
Yeah. So you guys, also the area that you live, and you guys have a vehicle, but you barely need it to drive it. Well, on the weekdays because the traffic sometimes, although the traffic in Panama City, in my opinion, is as long you know the timing and you plan
Yes.
ahead about where to go and the timing to go, that's how you deal in Panama City, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
I grew up in New York City. I learned to drive on I don't know if anyone knows the size of the cars then, on a 1959 Chevy Impala. I drove a 22-foot straight job in Manhattan through college. And I refused to go out during the day in a car other than an Uber where someone else is driving
In Panama.
in Panama City.
Uh,
Okay, we have a circle on the corner that's 2 lanes, except at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it becomes 5 lanes. And it's just total gridlock. We go to a store here, Kennedy Center it's called. You can walk it if it's a cool day, which there aren't too many of. We can walk it. It's a block further than the mall, and we walk to the mall. Of course, you have to go around the circle. That's dangerous, so we don't walk it. And it took us about 6 minutes to get there on an Uber, and 45 minutes to get home, because the traffic changes that quickly. So I go out on a Sunday. I have the entire city to ourselves. I can drive anywhere I want, and there's zero traffic. People are home with their families or in church.
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds like you
Oscar,
guys go to drive.
since you registered the car for us, we've had it out twice. Goes
Oh,
on
yeah.
Sunday morning to go shopping. Other
Sunday
than
morning
that, we
shopping
Uber.
is great. You can go to the
Yeah.
mall on the Sunday morning. I used to live downtown. That's when I always went out Sunday morning. Saturday,
Yeah.
no. Okay,
But that area where they live is so walkable,
Yeah.
and there is parks nearby. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean,
like you can walk to your restaurants and all that.
yeah, I love that area. Very nice.
Part of me thinks we should get rid of the car. I can take Uber anywhere I want to go. We can unload our packages, at the front door to the building, and the concierge will bring them up for us.
Yeah.
What I do is I load up the car, and we do shopping, twice a month, once a month, whatever, and we spend several $100s. But I buy all my wine, I buy all my alcohol, we buy all our paper goods. Then we fill up the car. Um, if I wanted to do that on a more regular basis, we could certainly do with Uber, and we have people here who will bring everything up for us. Most buildings do that. Most buildings have a concierge. It's a very different lifestyle here. Most apartments have maids' quarters. So we have an apartment that's advertised as 3.5 bathrooms, but we actually have 4.5 bathrooms because there's a maid's quarter. We use it as a pantry, but it's still there. And most of the buildings have concierges that'll bring everything up for you. Everything changed with COVID. I don't know if it changed here or they did it all along, but I see people driving up with 5-gallon jugs of water. The concierge unloads them, runs it up to their apartment. So we don't need the car. I've had a car since 17. We've had 2 cars since we got married. Just having one was traumatic. Having a small Hyundai, for a car guy was I thought it was going to be terrible, and it turned out to be great.
Yeah. Well, I want to get a concierge for my house after you talk about that. I need someone to. I don't mind going grocery shopping.
It's quite something. It's quite something. People have their dry cleaning delivered, their dinners delivered.
Yeah, it's
We got
pretty
some questions for you guys.
Okay.
The crowd here has some questions. How is the heat and humidity in Panama City?
Low. It's hot. It's hot and it's humid.
Really hot.
We try and go out in the mornings. Although we walk to restaurants 3 or 4 nights a week. There are a couple of nights that it's actually quite pleasant. Generally, it's hot. We're not going to tell you it's not hot. We run our air conditioners here in the apartment. We don't keep them, very, like a meat locker, but it's comfortable in the apartment, certainly. But we walk to the restaurant. I walk to the foodie market almost every morning. Across the street from the foodie market, there's a French-based pastry shop and bakery. I can pick up my croissants in the morning, baguettes. And then in the afternoons, sometimes we'll walk to the foodie market, pick up some extra things for dinner, or else we'll just keep going across the street or 1 more block, and we'll walk to the restaurants. We never, unless we're going outside the area, we never take a car to the restaurant. We walk to the restaurants. Well, we
But you
walk to
don't
the
go
clinic.
walking at 2 in the afternoon because that's the heat.
No, at 12 o'clock, it's hot. When
Okay.
it's sunny out,
Okay.
it's hot. I walked today, it was breezy and delightful.
Yeah, right now we can get some decent cool temperatures, with all this overcast and, breeze.
Right. We haven't had real rain here. We had the usual drizzle kind of stuff.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned this earlier. People, what Kate's asking is, you live in a city. Can you take a day trip to the beach?
Yep.
Like, how far is the drive to get to a beach, and could it be a day trip?
Yes.
There's Playa Blanca, which is one of the few white sand beaches on the Pacific side here, and Coronado. They say they're 45 minutes. I don't know if you can actually do it in 45 minutes. I would say an hour to an hour 15 minutes. We went to Playa Bonita, which was just under 20 minutes door to door.
And just reference, Playa Bonita is just outside Panama City, over the Americas Bridge.
Yes.
On the Pacific side, there is a lot of all-inclusive resorts in that area. There is a very fancy hotels. There is close by is the Panama Pacific area, which used to be a U.S. military base, and now it's all residential. It's called used to be called Howard, right? Military base Howard. but that now is more developed for residencies, and there is beautiful beaches in that area, just right outside the city. And another fact, from the city, you can go to Paradise Islands on the Pacific Ocean to the Pearl Islands, or close by to Taboga Island for the day trip.
Yeah, they have a lot of the ferries to the islands. A lot of people we know do that. We tend to be homebodies. But Playa Bonita is a very large resort. I think there are 5 pools. There's acres of pool water there. I think there's some 600 or so rooms. And when we were there, I don't think there were a dozen people in the hotel. It was pretty nice.
Yeah. I got a question from Debbie from Canada. She is coming here soon. She's interested in Panama City, the neighborhood that you live in, and do you rent or did you buy?
We bought. We've always owned. When we came to Panama, we arrived on Thursday
In
and-
Boquete.
in Boquete, and we bought a house. We bought a house that Monday in Boquete. We lived there for about 3 years, and then we decided to move. We came here. We sold that house. We came here, and we bought an apartment. We live in what's called Punta Pacifica, which is, I don't know if you know the area at all. We're we're around the corner from the hospital, across the street, around the corner and across the street from the clinic. Blocking just over a block from the JW Marriott, which is the old Trump. So it's a great convenient spot, no matter where you want to go. We can be at the airport in about 25 minutes. We can be in Costa del Este, which is a wonderful new community, in about 15 minutes. And wherever, Uber gets us wherever we want to go for, somewhere between $3 and $5.
Perfect. Great. Brad asks, what type of health insurance do you have?
We have Blue Cross Blue Shield, but I took it with me when I retired.
Yeah.
So we didn't go on a health insurance hunt. And it
You were
can
already
be,
fully covered when you came here. So,
yeah.
Mhm.
And that was part of my retirement package. So we got to keep that. And that's what we've been using.
yeah, we can help you guys with health insurance. We got agents, major Panama City company that can quote you 10, 15 different companies. So please go to our website, retiringpanamatours.com. If you actually click on the menu, you'll find health insurance. It's a form to fill out there. So do you guys, Debbie's asking, do you guys ever go down on a Sunday morning to Balboa Avenue and do the walk and watch the bikers and do all that stuff? You can probably
It's
see that.
wonderful there.
We have friends who live right looking down on Balboa Avenue, and it's quite spectacular. It's absolutely safe. Like I said, we walk here at night. We walk here in the mornings. I don't know anyone who walks here with any concern or fear. Balboa, they close the streets and the families are out. It's a wonderful Sunday.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, safe,
Uh-huh.
fun area to be in. If we weren't in Punta Pacifica, we would have been.
Been on Balboa. Yeah, we just got a couple questions. Barry Giselle asks, when are you guys moving back to Philly?
Barry and Carol are our best friends.
Is this
Uh,
friends of ours?
Philly.
Should I delete
Yes.
them from the
They
chat?
never left Philly, and we're trying to lure them down here.
And yes,
We want to
Oscar,
know
they're
why
big
when they're
Eagles
coming
fans.
here.
They're big
Barry,
Eagles
give
fans.
Oscar and me a call. We will get you here.
Yeah, no, we're not going back to Philly. They
Here's
know
a great
that.
question, guys, from Julie. Now, Max and Larry are kind of foodies. They like to eat out. We've eaten out with them many times.
Yep, and
like
they
nice
appreciate
restaurants.
high quality and
High quality
well-done
food.
Yeah.
What is the average cost of a restaurant for dinner for two?
I don't know that there's an average. It's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
They have family-owned restaurants where dinner is probably $12 to $15 a plate.
Mhm.
We tend to eat. We live in a tourist area, so we tend to eat, among the tourists, which is probably a little bit more expensive. Um, what is it at a more? What's called? Not a more.
I don't know, the burger place?
The fish place. Salmon was what?
Aroma.
Aroma. There's a restaurant here we can walk to. It's a few blocks further than the restaurants we usually go to. Wonderful salmon dinner is about $15-16. Sushi is about $12-14 a sleep,
roll.
a roll. We eat in some of the more expensive restaurants only because we can, and we like the food.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the many of those places that you guys go are extremely high quality in the service and the experience. You know, the amenities.
They're often rated among the best in the country.
Yeah.
But it's not extraordinary though either.
Yeah.
I eat dinner there for about $22 in one. They have one owner has several restaurants. In one of
Yeah.
his restaurants, I'll eat a fish dinner for about $22. If I go around the corner to his other restaurant, a similar dinner is about $26. They have excellent wine lists. The steaks are a little bit more expensive. They run into the the $30 range. But you're talking about filet mignon or New York strips, ribeyes. There are steakhouses here that you can buy steak for about in the 20s, and they
And the
go.
burger places are excellent. I mean, you can get an excellent, huge burger in several restaurants here for $10 maybe. And we have to put a caveat on what we would pay for dinner, because when we go out, we usually order a bottle of wine with dinner. So that will bump up the price, probably more than the food.
It tends to be more than the food.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take the last question for Max and Larry. And Ruth and Harvey, you have to remember, Max and Larry purchased a very large apartment. What do you guys, 3,000 square feet?
We have
Just under.
2,900 feet.
What's your
and
electric bill? Do you mind sharing what your electric
Not
bill
at
is?
all. We were told, and I budgeted for about $350 a month. We were told it could go 600, 700. I mean, we heard crazy numbers. Our bill last month was $205.
Yeah, okay. So
And
that's
I've got the paperwork to prove that.
Folks.
Now, again, our air conditioning is different than others.
Mhm.
Okay, we don't have a central system. We
Yeah.
have what they call splits in each room.
Mhm.
Now, I run everything 24/7, but in the rooms that we don't live in, like the guest bedrooms, it runs at 26 degrees centigrade.
Yeah.
But in the rooms that we live in, it runs at 25 degrees centigrade, and everybody's comfortable. At night, we might turn it down to 24, but never below that. But again, that's one room, so it's not prohibitive.
Now we got a bunch of general questions, but we're going to say goodbye and thank you so much to our great friends. And yes, I'm going to take the maids' quarter in January when I'm going to be in Panama City. I'll be there, clean it up.
Now we give you the
executive suite.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I'm coming
guys,
to visit.
we're so thankful for your time, for joining us tonight. It was very beautiful to see you both, and I'm looking forward to see you very soon. I mean, next week I'm gonna be in Panama City for a another week tour, but I might come on Tuesday. So
You
we can
just let
chat.
us know
Just
when.
let us
Yes.
know we're here.
We'll
Yes,
be here.
you guys look
Perfect.
wonderful, by the way.
You do. You look great.
Thank
I
you.
feel like my
All
head's
right,
not
guys.
attached to this picture.
Thank you so much for helping us out tonight. And again, for all you people watching, see their phone number, call them 24/7. It's right there on the screen. No.
Thanks, Rod.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Okay. Now, Oscar, we got a few less. Is there a large tourist season? Let's get to these
Yes, the
questions.
large tourist season starts literally between November, December, all the way through March, April. That's the large tourist season, what we call the high season.
Okay. If you had a bicycle Well, I've lived in apartments, two of them. I've never heard of a law that you can't bring your bicycle up to your suite.
No,
No.
If you have a suite that
I
your
know in
bicycle-
the U.S. they have some of those bylaws
No, I know,
because of
but
storage.
there is many condominiums they have in the parking lot. There is a space you can put your bicycle safe.
Yeah.
Just put your lock, and there is guards, so you don't have to bring it all the way up.
I want to, Louisa, you talk about, is Blue Cross Blue Shield accepted in Panama? Is it accepted as far as the hospital billing them directly? Not always. Some hospitals and some doctors do bill directly. Sometimes you're going to have to pay out of pocket and reimburse. Now, with Max, her employment gave her this program for life in her retirement. It's an excellent plan, and they do mostly reimbursement on it.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's not Blue Cross Blue Shield for those people who don't have it. Doesn't tend to be the cheapest here. Again, I will give you, I don't know why I closed this. My apologies. If you're interested in, please, on our website, use, oops. Oscar's looking at me. You just closed the whole thing, Rod. Use the contact form or click on other. You'll see the healthcare forms if you have any questions. Okay. Yes, Louisa, this was fun, wasn't it? Thank you. Question mark. It looks like you have to stay over in Panama City before I get on a plane and David. I hear they're building a hotel at the. Yeah, I don't think they're building. Oscar, talk about. They have an overnight in Panama City before their David flight. Where should they stay?
In Panama City, with the flight, they're flying through Copa or Air Panama.
They're flying into Tocuman and the next morning coming to David.
So they want to stay nearby Punta Pacifica or the banking district because that's the easiest way to go.
Or the airport. Like they have a 7:30 flight.
Okay, so the easiest will be next to the airport, either Riande by the airport or the Crown Plaza. I like both, but the Crown Plaza is kind of a little bit more nicer.
Yeah.
They
both have shuttle buses.
They all have free shuttle buses. Yeah. Just remember, go to the front desk and ask the timing or reserve the shuttle. Either way, the taxi or Uber works, and it will be very affordable as well. Just in case if you miss it.
Okay, Oscar, let's give an update of our weather in Boquete. We haven't heard what it's like in the rest of the country this afternoon.
No, the Boquete today has been a little bit extra
wet,
and then we have been some mudslides. There's some small creeks turn into rivers, so it's nothing like people are getting injured. Definitely something that I personally just share on our Expats in Boquete group on Facebook to people to stay home, stay safe, stay cozy, don't need to drive anywhere because sometimes with this weather, anything as small as a creek can get out of control and can be rocks. We have a little bit of blockage in the downtown area. There is never happened in all 15 years, never happened, but every year is different and the rains hits different areas differently. Definitely Boquete doesn't get hit as bad all the areas in Panama like Cerro Punta or Herrera with the La Villa Los Santos River. They always every year is flooded, like it gets out of control.
Yeah.
So this year, right now, where the police is patrolling, so far it's no news about anybody being injured or in danger, but it's all about precaution and stay quick. And I just trying to keep track on the Facebook group.
There's some mud coming down.
There's some mud coming down.
Okay.
There is some rocks.
Before we get cut off, we're going to finish this off here. If we get a pensionado visa, we don't have to pay. Yeah, you have to pay the VAT. VAT is the local sales tax. Actually, there's two. There's a 7% and a 5%. And you don't have to pay duty if you import a vehicle. That is correct. But really get some advice on whether you want to do that or not.
Yeah.
We're almost done. Oh goodness. Hey Alexis, how are you? We're coming to Petitcy. Julie, good for you guys. What? Oh, okay. Let's end with this, Oscar. And we apologize if we got cut off halfway through. What cities and areas does the 7-day tour visit?
We started in Panama City. We got to see all the main highlights spots of the city, like the Panama Canal, the Casco Antiguo. We got to get the beautiful restaurant, the seafood market. After that, we head out towards the Panama West. We got to visit some areas like Gorgona, Coronado. Sometimes we get to see apartments or the houses. So you have an idea what you can get for how much you can get, connecting it with a very reliable and trustworthy agents. And that day we end up in Chitre, which is the capital of the Herrera province. And we're following on the Sunday, we're following going through Las Tablas, going through finishing in Pedací. And we got a lot of the cultural exchange, meaning we, for instance, we stop in a nice a very home family trapiche, which is they do homemade molasses, and you get to drink some beautiful sugar and juice. We finish in Pedací, get to see the beautiful town. Sometimes depends on the weather, we get to see more or less. We got to eat the beautiful restaurants every single day because me myself, I have a tourism degree background, so I know where to take my people. And on Monday, we go live backwards all the way from the Suero Peninsula all the way to Pan American Highway, and we finish in Las Lajas Beach, which is one of the longest and the best beaches in the Chiriquí province, 14 kilometers. Stay at a nice hotel. Tuesday and Wednesday, that's Tuesday is when we come all the way to Boquete. We got to experience the Tuesday market and got to learn about a little bit more about the Chiriquí province, and that's got to meet our experts and it's trustworthy. Some of them they'll be working over 10 years because for us, our company in our it's all about reputation. It's all about relationships, and that's how things are done here in Panama.
Right on. So many of you asking and looking are interested in the tour. Since we've all been together on this call, March has sold out, and April's now almost sold out. So get yourself booked. We'd love to see you. And anyone booked, you get on a priority backup list if you want to come early. There's always cancellations. Someone gets a birthday notice or they booked it without his wife's approval. That's the biggest one. No, we're busy that weekend, honey.
Well, the thing is, get on the backup list because we might be opening an extra 3-day tour in Chiriquí.
Yeah.
We're gonna confirm the dates, and regardless of the 7 days, but if some of you are looking into specific this area, we're looking into open another 3-day Chiriquí Highland tour in the first 2 to 3 months of the coming new year. So stay tuned up and keep following us, and we'll pretty much this week we'll announce that.
So we got to say goodnight. Max, Larry, Carol, our guests here. Hey, let's say goodbye to them. All right, we're bringing you back on. Hey guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Someone had so many questions. If you guys are still asking questions, I'm sorry, our time is up. But go to our website. There's a contact us button right on there.
Yep.
So thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for your precious time, and have a good night. And for those in Boquete, stay home, stay cozy.
All righty. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.